In this video, as always, I want to share with you some simple, whole food, plant-based versions of things that you can whip up in your kitchen. Even if you have no idea what you're doing, you can make these cheeses, and they can really help you kind of bridge that gap. When I first went plant-based, the hardest thing for me to give up was cheese. And with good reason, it actually has addictive properties to it. The casomorphines are something that is truly addictive. And in addition to these cheese recipes that I'm gonna share with you in this video, I have a ton more in my cookbooks, Be Vegan and Eating Whole, and I'll link those down below so you can check them out. And stick around to the end because after I share the recipes, I'm going to share with you my favorite vegan packaged cheese, which of course is not whole food plant-based, but every once in a while, if you get that craving for a sliced piece of cheese or something of that nature, you can look to these. Let's get into these recipes. All right, you guys, this quick stovetop cheese is so easy to make. I'm adding nutritional yeast, miso paste, arrowroot powder, garlic powder, salt, and some unsweetened plant milk. Whisk this together until the lumps are out, and then just continue to whisk it on low until it becomes more elastic and cheese-like. This works so well as a veggie dip or on pasta or spread on a tortilla or any other dish you'd like to make cheesy in a matter of minutes. Up next is this jalapeno queso, and it's really easy to make. In a high-speed blender, I'm adding raw cashews, nutritional yeast, some pickled jalapenos, sea salt, garlic powder, cumin, smoked paprika, and hot water. And then just blending it for a couple minutes until smooth and you're good to go. You can garnish this with extra pickled jalapeno and cilantro and tomato, or if you're really feeling like you want to kick it up a notch, you can add in a couple more tablespoons of the pickled jalapenos and just give it a nice texture. We have some version of this queso dip made in our house every single week. This recipe is what I go to whenever I want to make a Mexican dish with something cheesy. Oh, so good. Yum. I'm sure if you watch my videos, you've seen some version of this queso dip. There's also the original in Eating Whole, but this variation, I feel like that always happens with recipes. You just kind of make different variations as you go and just kind of find new ways to have it. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. I've been loving these jalapenos lately in salads and different recipes. So this is definitely one of my family's cheese staples, and I think you're gonna really like it if you haven't tried it yet. Yum. If you like garlic, you are going to love this cheese spread. Here I am just blending up raw cashews and a little bit of salt. You're trying to make a nice creamy paste, nothing too thin. I'm pouring this into a small mason jar, and here's where I'm going to add one vegan probiotic capsule, and I'm going to then just mix this in until it is nice and blended, and I'm putting a lid on this, not tightly, but just so it is covered. I'm placing it in my oven, and I'm just putting the oven light on just so it's a nice warm spot. If you live somewhere warm, you can just put it on the counter out of direct sunlight. Leave this for about 16 to 24 hours to ferment. After that time period, just scoop out the cheese into a small mixing bowl and then stir in crushed garlic cloves, garlic powder, and smoked paprika. Give it a taste and just adjust it as needed. You can put it back in the same container or into another one and then just place it in the fridge. The spread can actually be eaten right away, but the flavor will improve and intensify the longer it stays in the fridge over the next 2 to 3 days. And on a piece of toast, I have to be honest, this is pure garlic lover's heaven. Got angry at you while I was fighting my mind. So those are some cheesy recipes that you can introduce to your repertoire and just get that kind of satisfaction in addition to eating a ton of fresh fruits and vegetables and whole grains and legumes. But this just kind of gives it that little hint of naughty without it actually being naughty, and it tastes so delicious. Now, I mentioned to you in the beginning that I was going to share with you my favorite kind of processed cheeses. And again, this is not something I eat all the time because I try to eat as unprocessed as possible. But every once in a while, if you need kind of to quench that cheesy urge, these work really well. This is the cheese by Violife, which as far as any processed vegan cheeses go, it is my absolute favorite. I'm blown away at the taste of this cheese. It is so delicious. And then coming in second is the brand Chow. My husband gets this brand a lot and it's a little bit cheaper than the Violife. And then the last one is by this company, Good Planet. And this is an American cheese. And so they're really great in a pinch when you're just really craving a sliced piece of cheese. The recipes will be linked down below. And if you want to check out even more cheese recipes, check out my cookbooks, which I will link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Give me just a minute, stop making it. Give me just a minute, we can talk it out.